Hey, thanks for watching my YouTube channel. Super excited. We're continuing our series on major screw-ups. So you're like, why do we want to talk about major screw-ups? Well, I think it's very important for us. There are lessons we can learn from people in the Bible who were major screw-ups, who messed up and never seemed to rebound for whatever reasons. But we're going to look specifically today at a guy by the name of Jeroboam. You're like, where do you come up with these people? I know, it's a little bit crazy, but this guy's important because it's interesting when you look at just historically. Solomon, David's son, one of the best kings of all of Israel, had a son named Rehoboam. And Rehoboam, when he became the king, he didn't really rule very well. And a lot of Israel came to him and said, hey, we want you to kind of lighten up. Give us some breathing room. And he decided, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to give you any kind of breathing room. I'm going to rule over you even more firmly and in more demand than my dad did. And Jeroboam is not related. Jeroboam stands up in the leadership for Israel and says, we're out of here. We're not going to follow Rehoboam. We're not going to follow Solomon's son. And it's interesting. I point out Jeroboam. That's kind of the broad strokes of him. But Jeroboam knew that he would be the king. And he knew it before all this hit the fan. He knew it in 1 Kings chapter 12, verse 27. Actually, in 1 Kings 11. He's prophesied. This prophet came to Jeroboam and said, hey, you're going to be the king. You're going to be the king of 10 tribes. And he knew it ahead of time. And when it happened, and Jeroboam said with Rehoboam's answer, hey, look, I'm going to take these. We're not going to follow your leadership. 10 tribes followed Jeroboam. But here's the screw up. You're like, what's your point in all this? The screw up is this. In chapter 12, 1 Kings 12, 27, Jeroboam said this: if the people go to offer sacrifices to the house of the Lord in Jerusalem, then the people will turn their loyalty and go down and serve in Judah. They'll be loyal to Jerusalem and not loyal to me. And Jeroboam's screw up is he heard the word of the Lord. He heard the prophecy from God. You're going to be the king. But he didn't trust God to keep him as a king. So he created idolatry, and he set up these alternate calves and all this stuff in the northern kingdom of Israel. But he didn't trust God. And because of that distrust, he was the beginning, and he was absolutely the long-term setup for Israel walking in idolatry for all of their history and walking away from God. He was the catalyst for all of that because he didn't trust God. And that's a challenge for all of us. It's a challenge to trust God. But I want to say this, it's essential for us that we make conscientious, intentional decisions to trust God. It can be scary. We can have a lot of things around us we don't see lining up and all this stuff, but let's prioritize trusting God, because Jeroboam did not trust God, and it hit the fan for him, and he never rebounded. He never came back, never repented, was never redeemed, and he walked in idolatry and led Israel into idolatry for multiple centuries. So this is a really important screw up to avoid. Let's trust God. Make sure you give me some feedback on today. Love to have any kind of ups, downs, thumbs up, all that stuff. And of course, subscribe. Love to have you subscribe. Send this to your friends because it's a fun channel and light, concise, but also helpful. And of course, the jokes. The jokes are just, they take your breath away in so many ways. What do you call a woman who stands between two goalposts? What do you call a woman between two goalposts? Her name is Annette. I know, right? You're like, all right, come back next week. We got more helpful stuff with major screw-ups.